Nieves is a former NYPD detective and says do not.
Everybody's looking for the monkey.
Yeah. So you
our smiles, to give you a little bit of a brief.
I gotta say, I love that intro. It's got a lot of energy, it's got a lot of power, a lot of movement. And today, welcome everybody. We got another show with a lot of power, a lot of movement, because we are talking about lost pets. Now, lost pets, that's Angel, this guy over here. That's his specialty. But we're gonna have a lady whose name is Judy Charahuas, and she is coming to us live from Winter Park, Florida. Judy?
Well, first let's put the intro.
Okay, well, sorry, my bad. Angel's going to introduce her with his hard work, his intro. Let me tell you, it took him a lot of time to edit this, so you guys better appreciate this.
You made us look good.
That's right. This is a hard-working guy over here, Judy.
True.
You're a hard-working person too, because you have a website that helps reunite pet owners with their lost pets, and you also are an advocate for teaching people how not to lose their pets in the first place. So let me just give the audience an idea of who you are. Judy lives in Winter Park, Florida. She is a Chicago expat.
Yep.
That's right. She went from the cold
frozen tundra,
from the snow to the sunshine, and she's been dedicated. She started out with this project. I think by profession she is a psychotherapist, but she lost her pet some years ago. Couldn't find her pet, and caused a lot of anxiety. And it dawned on her that there are a lot of other people out there who were going through similar circumstances. And she decided that she would help those people. Thankfully, she found her pet, but she dedicated a website and a lot of her time to helping reunite people with their lost pets. So Judy, tell us a little more about what your organization is involved in.
Well, in 2009, we started a test site. A friend of mine who's a realtor in town, people would call us every time a pet was missing because she drove all around the city. I had a lot of experience similar to Angel, where we know where we need to go look and who we need to talk to. So we decided one day we were running around, it was 95 degrees, and I said, there's got to be a better way. And she said, what would that be? And I said, a website. And she said, you find somebody to build it, I will pay for it. And she followed up on that, which is awesome because many people don't. That's Shelly Easted. So Shelly and I created Winter Park Lost Pets. And as of today, we've reunited 2,421 pets. So we reunite by having a database. People register lost or found pet on the database. It goes out to our email list, and we're in a community of about 35,000. Goes out to that email list. It goes to Facebook, Twitter. We have the support of police department, the fire department, UPS. Now, the Amazon drivers, everybody sees those alerts. And most people in the community know whose pet that is. So we are able to reunite really quickly. We have a 501c3 called the Lost Pets Foundation. And through that foundation, we microchip pets for free with Orange County Animal Services. We partner with them. Today, we're actually doing an event that's pet photos with the Easter Bunny. And at that event, it's a local pet store. we are donating $500 worth of free ID tags. So we tell people, if you don't microchip, put a tag on the pet. And as Angel knows, that microchipping is the best way we're going to ever find, those pets.
And it has to be updated.
Yep. Yeah, it has to be registered.
Yes.
And updated, correct? Because a lot of people don't realize that's a 2-step process. So you microchip the pet and then you register all that information. So people new to town, we remind them, make sure all your information is current. In this day and age, cell phones have helped a great deal, because back in the day you had a landline.
Right.
And you moved in, that landline changed. So cell phones, have helped a lot. But we just do a lot of education about microchipping, spay and neuter as well, an ID tag. The most difficult thing to do when you lose a pet is getting the word out. So that's the one thing the website does well, is we get it out immediately. As soon as a pet is posted, we're on it. It's really helpful.
But also the people have to know that the microchip is not a tracker.
Correct.
A lot of people really believe it's a tracker that,
Yes.
we could find out what no. It only, when somebody finds the pet, that's when they find the owner.
Yeah. So we donated a microchip reader to our local police department. Our fire department has one. I have one. So if it's after hours, we usually refer them to our emergency vets because they all have one. And that's also how we're able to reunite if they're chipped and registered. It's the most important thing. Chip and register your pets. Yeah.
You said something very interesting a little while ago. And did I understand you correctly when you said that Amazon drivers get lost pet alerts?
Yeah, so you can sign up on our website to receive an alert. So a lot of the truck drivers in the area, our mailmen do also, they sign up. So you get an alert, says this pet is lost, where our information on the website shows where the pet is lost, the person's phone number, their email address, all that info. So they can just click right away and it'll put them in touch with somebody, and that's how we do it.
Okay, I'd like to expand on that for a second, because there are people that are outside of Winter Park, Florida. Let's say for somebody who's in New York City or Philadelphia or Washington, D.C., is that part of the Amazon corporate policy, or is that something that an Amazon driver?
It's our drivers in our area that do that. Yeah.
Okay, so if that's
same thing for UPS. It's our drivers that drive the routes, that know the pets, that sign up because they know exactly where they live and where they're from, where they're at. Yeah.
So then if somebody wanted, like, let's say, okay, so Angel and I are in New York City, and if we wanted to sign up for that for our pets, what would we do? Will we contact Amazon, or how would we reach out to
you could. I mean, I just know our people volunteered. They just signed up on the website because they said, yeah, I drive these routes and I know these animals, and the Chewy, the guys that deliver Chewy, they know those pets sitting at the door. You could always call and ask, but they would need to receive those alerts to know where they go to reunite that pet if they find a loose pet.
Yeah, I tell you, that's a great idea. I mean, it would, as you say, it would have to be done on a voluntary basis.
Yeah.
But for postmen, UPS drivers, Amazon delivery drivers in the area, and you're right, because they see everything.
Yeah, they're up high. Yes.
They're up high. So it might be a community initiative to try and get these organizations involved in helping to find lost pets. Angel, you wanted to say something? Yes.
Well, that app is made by Winter Park Lost Pets.
Winter Park Lost Pets is a website. We're not an app yet. Yeah, so it's our website, but you can get alerts on your phone.
Yeah, but those alerts, where it comes from? The alerts is from
it comes from us, Winter Park Lost Pets.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
So so say for example, Angel, you lost a pet. You go to our website, you click, lost a pet. You're going to put all that information in. It comes to me because I run the back end. I view every post just for appropriateness because I don't want an auto blast going out there with anything crazy. Right. So I approve it. Boom, it goes out. It goes out to everybody on the email list right away. And then we have somebody who manually puts it on Facebook because Facebook changes so much you can't tie into. And then we also have groups on our Facebook page that cover our various counties surrounding Winter Park. So those posts also go up in, we're between Orange and Seminole County here. So they go out to the groups in Seminole, the groups in Orange. I have people that walk the shelters, both Seminole and Orange, that will look at that post on their phone to just eyeball, has that animal been turned in? And if that pet was turned in without a microchip, they have helped us unite. Yeah.
It's like an Amber Alert.
Correct. Very much like it. Yeah, very much like it.
I've seen that happening. But the thing is, I mean, you have it organized and you have it working.
Took a while.
But it does because people have to sign in to get involved. Yeah. It's not like a regular Amber like you hit on the iPhone, which is a good idea. If you talk to Verizon and all that, they could put some system like an Amber with yours in your area. So automatically people just click it like an app and it goes straight to them.
Yeah.
You know, but you have to be in it to be on.
Exactly. You have to sign up, you know, so that's why we also created that 501c3, because through events, we're always showing like, here's who we are and we're here and we're available to help, because our community, you know, people move in and out of this community a lot. We also have a lot of apartments, you know, we also have a lot of cats that can be everywhere. So you have to, you know, be aware, like, is this something I want to do? For example, I approached our former chief of police because people would call the police department when they found a pet or when they lost a pet. And they were like, oh, okay, like, you know, walk around, put up posters, whatever. So he put our link up on the police department website when we started in the beginning to get the word out. Now we've been working so long with police and fire that if somebody calls, you know, they're lying to say I've lost my pet, they're like, go to Winter Park Lost Pets, post the pet right away. We actually had a lost German Shepherd, and the police department took our post, shared our post, and of course our police, they have a great sense of humor. They're good people. And they said, there's a bolo out for Bella. So look for Bella, the German Shepherd. And we reunited her in less than 2 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. So we reunite like 9 out of 10 pets posted on our site. We reunite. The pets we don't reunite or have difficulty with are usually cats, because cats are not microchipped. People just don't microchip a cat as much as they microchip a dog. It's usually that. Every now and then it's a dog where we have exhausted all avenues, in which case our 501c3 works with local rescues. So we get that animal into a rescue group that's going to get their medical taken care of, everything taken care of before they put them up for adoption.
What's the biggest mistake that pet owners do that causes pets to be lost?
So we have a tagline on our website. It takes one open gate to lose a pet and a whole community to find it. Because we have, you know, we're in Florida. We have yard services where they go mow the backyard and they leave the gate open. You have people that are visiting and they leave a gate open. We lose a lot of pets around the holidays because people just pop open the door, and we call them doorbusters. And those dogs just, or cats, they just go because there's an opportunity. So a lot of it, you know, is that Angel, I promote a lot of what Angel says, you know, on my Facebook page, which is, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your pets are? Because people will put an animal out in their yard and not stay out with the animal. Now, we had coyote problems here for a long time. We have hawks in this area. You know, I saw your video on hawks, you know, Angel, that was like awesome. But we tell people all the time, do not leave your pet unattended, because that can happen.
But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think that sometimes people underestimate the wandering ability of their pets. For example, somebody will say, and I mean, I got to confess, I'm guilty. Many years ago, I had a cat, Gizmo, who was a great cat, semi-feral. I got him when he was a little kitten, but he loved to go outside. So finally, we brokered a deal. I said, all right, you're going to go outside for a few hours, and then I'm going to open the door and you're going to come back in. Well, the next thing I know, he was out for a day, then he would show up, then he was out for a couple of days, until the point where I stopped, because I felt that if I keep letting this cat go back and forth, he's going to end up back outside and I'll never get him back. So I underestimated his timing. And eventually he became a house cat, totally. But my mistake was underestimating assuming that he would come back at a given hour, and it doesn't work like that.
And we have a lot of, missing cats, and we had a problem at one time with feral communities. So we worked with trap, neuter, release, to educate people. You've got all of these loose cats out there and somebody's not spayed or neutered, we're going to have a lot of cats. We did an event one year where we neutered 52 cats. We did Don't Be a Father's Day. So it was a way to get the word out, because people don't understand that a loose animal that's not spayed or neutered, you're going to have a bigger problem, with that population. But we usually find cats within a 2-block radius, north, south, east, or west, usually. Yeah. And what's funny is we had a cat one time that people were looking for, and it was a runner, and he saw the post and he called the person and said, your cat is 2 blocks away over at this house where the lady puts out tuna every day. So he just wanted a better meal than what he was getting.
Well, people don't understand that cats have 2 homes.
Exactly.
They go to stay with your home in the nighttime. In the daytime, they got somebody else's home.
Yeah.
It's like having a mistress.
Yeah.
And what they do is they go back and forth. And that's why I tell the people when they lose their cats, I say, cats are different than dogs. Yeah. Cats, you have to listen. They call you. You're not going to call them. Yeah. And that's what happens. They actually do come. They give them meow. And then from there, you open the door.
Yeah. We actually had a cat that was missing 1 year that we reunited. Wow. And we were maybe 3 years into it or something. And it was Christmas Eve, and I was at the post office, and somebody came up to me and said, do you ever post a cat that somebody found like over a year ago? And I said, well, you can go ahead and put it up, and let's see if somebody comes forward. And we have a lot of lakes in Winter Park. We have a huge lake that Rollins College sits on. And this cat had walked all the way around the lake and was staying with this person. And every morning she would open the door and say, I know you belong to somebody. If you want to go back home, you can go back home. So I posted it, and within 1 hour, we had reunited the cat, because this woman was looking for this cat for this whole year. And the story ended up in our local paper because the owner down the road had to have open heart surgery, and that cat laid on her chest as she was recovering. So sometimes, you look at a year and you're like, a year? But, now if that cat had been microchipped, boy, that cat would have been reunited in record speed.
A year ago.
Now, because we're winding down toward our final minutes. Angel's shaking his head no.
Angel, we could talk about missing pets forever.
You got a few minutes left.
Yeah. I want to. You are a trained psychologist.
Actually, I'm a licensed mental health counselor. That's what we're called in Florida.
Okay, licensed mental health counselor. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to talk a few minutes about what it means emotionally and psychologically to a pet owner when their pet goes missing.
Yeah, actually, I am well trained for it. Never thought the two would ever meet. But obviously, a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. People blame themselves for, oh, I left the door open, or I did this or that. A lot of people, another thing, and Angela, we've talked about this in the past. People ask somebody to come in and take care of their pets when they go on vacation. That person is not a certified pet sitter, so they're not paying attention, doing all the things that a professional would do.
Right.
So, a lot of that, comes up as well. So a lot of it is, for all of us, what is it? All we can control is what's possibly in our control. So all we can do is make sure that alert is out there, look all over, do everything you possibly can do. When you get the pet back, the biggest thing you can do is microchip the pet. Make sure the information's current. Or if you don't want a microchip, put a collar on with the tag. Shelley and I joke that if we had a buck for everybody who said, oh, I just took their collar off to give them a bath, like we'd be billionaires, by now, because people do that all the time. But I also, for a while, I would see people who had the death of a pet. So sometimes a pet gets out, that pet's hit by a car, things happen. Yeah. And it's something else that we offered at no cost, just to help people process through that loss, because, they're unconditional love. They love us like no one ever will.
Yeah, which I think is it's important. I had the privilege of working with two people who did indeed lose their pets, and it was awful. It was just awful, and they mourned for days. So the family and friends will tell someone, oh, it was a dog, it was a cat, it wasn't a person. How do you tell someone who's lost a pet that it is all right to seek therapy? It is all right to grieve for that pet as though you would grieve for a human being, because a lot of people may not get the support of their friends, family, and colleagues, or people, and say, oh, it's just a pet, you can get another one.
Yeah, and then I try to explain, a pet is a family member. You have a bond with a pet you will never have with a person, ever. Well, they don't judge us. They hear everything we say, crazy or not, and they don't judge us over it. They love us unconditionally. They will do anything for us. And it's okay to process that and take your time and understand some people never get over the loss of, we call it your heart animal, like that one special dog or that one special cat or ferret, whatever it may be. And it's, and it's just, you have to sometimes just talk about it with somebody that understands and can empathize, because somebody who tells you that's just a pet is somebody that doesn't recognize, I always say, it's a little life. They don't recognize it's a little life.
A sentient being. That's what animals are. They are sentient beings.
Exactly.
Let me ask you one thing. What, for you to explain, I have a feeling I know what it is. Well, that's good. You can talk all they want.
Go ahead.
Don't worry about it. I'm actually, Ardea, what's your cat?
The sun hits the front part of the hallway at a particular time, and she just chills out in that sun. As soon as that sun moves, then she's back here.
Okay, so now what's this?
So this we give out to everybody we possibly can for free. Thank you for bringing this up, Angel. So as a therapist, I worked with the survivors from our Pulse shooting that we had here in town. So one of the things law enforcement said to me is, we cannot go, Angel's probably the same thing in New York, you cannot go into someone's home, even if somebody tells us they have a pet, without permission to go into someone's home. So I said to that officer, what can we do? And he said, if they have a card in their wallet, in their purse, whatever, that says, I have a pet that's home alone, here's who you contact. He said that would help tremendously. We did have 3 little Chihuahuas from Pulse. We had a local vet in the area that boarded them for free, took care of them. We had a groomer that came and gave everybody bath, took care of everyone. That person had to go to a funeral in Dallas, Texas. And when they came back, the dogs were there for him. But that card is so important. And some people who are older say, like, well, I don't have anyone. Yes, you do. You have your vet. Put your vet's name down. There's always somebody. So once that card is there, that would help us. And it would help law enforcement, obviously.
Wow.
So we give those away for free. And we just tell, I mean, anybody can do that. Anybody can. We went over to Vistaprint. We used our logo, so we've got our word out there about if you lose a pet, here's who we are. But anybody can do that. Any company, anyone can just have those printed up, give them away. It's so important we all have that information on us because things happen.
Yeah.
Now, one more thing, because we are getting close, Ardina, you're right. You guys are for donations, right? For you could keep running what you're doing.
Yeah, our 501c, we started our 501c3 for donations. So when we do the microchipping events or free ID tags, or or like we did the neuter event for the cats, whatever. But I will tell you, we have wonderful support from the community that they will just say, "What's your next event?" and they'll just write a check to cover stuff. Yeah, that's Costina 214. So they have supported us in the past with the running of the Chihuahuas, which obviously had to stop during COVID. So they're doing an event for us on Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th. And that will be Tito's Vodka is a vodka company where they're very much for shelter animals, very much for rescues. They donate a lot of their proceeds to Austin, Texas. They're in Austin, Texas, to the Austin shelter. So they're going to have drink specials and all kinds of things, and we'll be there. And if you make a donation to us, you get a free Tito's hard lemonade. So we're hoping we're going to see some drinkers. That will help us out. And then we always do National Night Out every year where we work with police and fire and we microchip pets for free at that event. We have groomers that do free nail trims. We have a pet sitter that offers, safety tips. Fire department chose the pet oxygen masks that we've donated. So people are aware that the fire department has those. We're all in it together. We're all as pet lovers, we're in it together.
And that's a very important note to end on. We are all in it together, folks. Now, since we're all in it together, Judy, your website where people can log in, Lost Pets, Found Pets, there it is.
It's winterparklostpets.com. That's my Lily. Now, Lily was one of my heart dogs. Lily's no longer with us, but she lives on through the service we provide.
Well, I like to think that we'll be reunited not only with our lost, loved humans, but with our lost, loved pets. We'll go on to that next phase in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And our next phase is winding down. Angel, so you get the last word and you get to take us out, bud.
Yes, Judy, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you.
Very educational. And me, I do the old detective work. I go out there and I investigate and I do all the walking and investigations. But now we have technology. And technology is what Judy's doing, and it's going all over. I mean, just with a press of a button, boom, it goes out there like an Amber Alert, and people reunite their pets right away. Me, I get the cold cases. I try my best to do the same. But
very tough.
Thank you very much
for doing
and
that.
People, please, do you know where your pets are? And please spay and neuter your pets.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Okay.